Welcome to the Whole Enchilada, a community of high achievers that fight the status quo, rebel against mediocrity, and make life happen. Let's go. Hey, Enchilada Nation, excited to spend a few minutes with you today. I don't know about you, but have you been enjoying the World Cup? It is so fun to see the energy going on all across the country, cheering for their favorite team. What's fun is even when your country is out of the mix, it's so fun to see other people get on the bandwagon and cheer other people on. But there's been a couple things that have been really fascinating to me. Number one is a lot of you know that I love stats and data, but as I'm watching the games, it's been so interesting to me to hear what the announcers are tracking. What is it that they deem as the key performance indicators that they want to measure so they can start predicting results? So it's been really interesting and fascinating. Up to this point, we still have the final championship game to be had this coming Sunday, but up to this point, the three leading scorers throughout the World Cup it's no surprise. Messi is number one at 8 goals. Mbappe is at 8 goals. And Erling Haaland is at 7 goals for the World Cup series. What was really interesting to me is they track this thing called touches per goal. So each of them have a certain number of goals, 8, 8, and 7. But what is measured on the other side of that is how many times did they have to touch the ball to convert that to a goal. It was really interesting to see the difference. The one that is the most efficient, the least amount of touches per goal is Erling. In fact, it was really amazing for a minute. He was doing an absurd amount. This is what caught my eye is it was 12 touches per goal. Which this put me down a rabbit hole of thinking through this. Like a normal good striker, professional striker is 80 to 150 touches per goal. Very good elite finisher is at 20 to 40 touches per goal if they're like top of the game. And then every once in a while you get someone on like a small multiple game streak that's doing that 10 to 20 touches. It was interesting. You look at Messi, who has the most goals, tied with Mbappe at 8. But their number of touches per goal is significantly higher than Erling's, which made me think a little bit about this. Does that mean that Erling Haaland is a better player, that he's able to touch the ball less times to goal? But as I got into it a little bit more, it was interesting, some of the things that came to light. It says here that Mbappe generally has more touches because he carries the ball and dribbles frequently. While a lot of times you see the highlights of Erling, he's down in front of the net, he's creating the space for someone else to get him the ball to get it into the net. When Mbappe is generally creating some of the opportunity because he's dribbling it and taking it into the area in which he could create a goal. And Messi has the most touches of the three because he functions as both a creator and a finisher. So he's working a lot more to create the opportunity and finish the opportunity, where Erling is although he can create opportunities, phenomenal player, he's counting on his team to create the opportunities. Now, if any of you are soccer fans, you may be listening to this and being like, I don't know what I'm talking about, and maybe I don't. But the point is there's something here for me to learn from a business perspective. Part of this is understanding what is your zone of genius? What is it that you do really, really well? If Messi all of a sudden decided that all he was going to do is sit down and wait down by the box and wait for the opportunity to come to him, would his touches per goal would probably go significantly down. But would the results, the goal actually significantly go down in conjunction with it? So it was interesting to me is kind of think through a couple things in relation to the way the ball moves on the field and how this relates to my business. So number one is the touch. If you are enjoying this conversation, please, who do you know that you can share this episode with today that will find value in it and would also like to join us on our journey to become the best version of ourselves? And don't forget, please like and subscribe because this helps me get in front of more people just like you to continue to grow our network in our Enchilada Nation. Thanks again. Let's get back to the episode. A touch is measured of the ball came to me and I had a one touch and it went off my foot. I didn't know if it went to the right player or the wrong player, but we were measuring there was a touch. The whole point of the touches is to convert into a possession. So if I touch the ball and ultimately give it to the other team, I never possessed it. I have to possess the ball. That we have to be in possession of the ball. My team has to have the ball in our strategy where we're affecting how the ball is moving down the field. So the whole idea of these touches in relation to our business is every conversation we're having, when we're connecting with people, it's a quick touch but there's got to be a preset objective of how you're going to convert that touch into a possession. How are you going to create an opportunity off of that touch? So it's not just about when they touch the ball. It's not like watching your little nephew play soccer where the ball lands and everyone swarms the ball. It's when someone is in possession of the ball, the positioning of all the other players and the movement of all the other players has been practiced thousands of times. So when you do have the conversation, when you're going for the touch, are you strategic in creating the possession? And then when you're in possession and you get the ball, is that a surprise to you? Like, whoa, I've got it, now what do I do? Which I think a lot of us show up that way. Or it's, oh, that worked. I'm now in possession of the opportunity. Now it's just a matter of executing the plan that I've done and planned 1,000 times. Once you have the possession, obviously you've got to get it down to a place where you get a shot on goal. You've got the opportunity in front of you. You're now executing your game plan. Can you progress it far enough down the field that you actually get the opportunity to have a shot on goal? In real estate, that may be going from a conversation of a cold lead to converting to a value proposition over the phone to the shot on goal is now you're sitting at the kitchen table, and the shot on goal is, are you walking out of there with a listing agreement? Something along those lines. And then obviously the ultimate thing that we all want is you can't win a game without goals. You can have the most touches, you can have the most time under possession, you can have the most opportunities and shots on goal. But if you don't actually execute and get the ball in the net, you're ultimately going to lose. This is where people start to get burnt out and frustrated. When you get the opportunity over and over and over again and you don't know how to execute it, that can be frustrating. So it's interesting. Are you more like a Erling? Are you an Mbappe? Or are you a Messi? What jersey do you wear inside your business? There's not one that's right and one that's wrong. While some of you may argue that one of those players is far better than the other. They're all impressive in their own ways, and they have incredible teams around them, but they have different strategies of play. For me personally, I know that a lot of times I have to create the opportunity myself in conjunction with my team, but I have to be involved in creating the opportunity instead of just executing the opportunity at the end of it. I think by being involved in the process of getting it there, it increases my likelihood of actually being able to finish at the end of it. That's just something I've learned about myself. I have to learn to delegate and give things away to my other team. It's important to have that team around me, but if I'm not involved in the process of getting it to the finish line, my chances of execution diminish. I hope that resonated with you. The question is, how many touches are you getting? Are you converting them to possession? How are you getting shot on goal? And I hope you're celebrating the heck out of it like those soccer players do when they make a goal. Go live life on your terms.